What's up, Duelists? Empty here, and as I promised, I've given you guys a live Dark Magician deck profile. Now, so many words there are to describe my excitement for this, but can't put them into words because then we'd be here for weeks. But basically, this version of Dark Magician is going to be its most purest form as a control deck. Now, as you guys know, there are many ways you can build Dark Magician. You can build it OTK, you can build it Synchro version, Xyz version, Fusion version. There's so many things you can do with this. But at its central core with the support we got, it is a control deck. And that is exactly what I have here today with me. Not to mention, come Link Summon format, this is going to be a very good deck, considering how you almost never go into your extra deck. I kid you not, guys. Maybe one out of every 3 or 4 matches do I actually go into this deck. Matter of fact, I went like 5 games once without ever even looking at my extra deck. So, again, really fun deck, really cool, and just you can pull off some crazy stuff that your opponent wouldn't even think about. Alright, let's get right into it. First of all, here, main man himself, Dark Magician, everyone's favorite vanilla spellcaster, including my favorite. I mean, he's only the mascot of my channel, so I don't think I made it too obvious. But yeah, I like Dark Magician. And we read 3 different arts. You got an Ultimate Rare here, got Gold Secret, and you got the original Ultra from the YuGiOh structure deck. So everything involving our combos and stuff is going to be around this 3 cards right here. Next up, support here, we got 3 copies of Magician of Dark Illusion. While this card is on the field, this card's name becomes Dark Magician. And also during your opponent's turn, if you activate a spell or trap card, you can reveal him and special summon him to your side of the field. And if you activate a spell, trap card, or effect while this guy is on the field, you can special summon a Dark Magician from your graveyard, though you can only use it once while he's on the field. And as you can see here, his stats are reversed from Dark Magician. Instead of 25 attack, 21 defense, it's 21 attack, 25 defense. So really good. Basically having 6 copies of Dark Magician is always amazing. And not to mention, this helps you go into some pretty cool Xyz plays. Next up here is going to be the main searcher of the deck. 3 copies of Magician's Rod. When he's normal summoned, you could search your deck for any spell or trap that lists Dark Magician in its text and add it to your hand. So this basically gets you going like crazy. So, but one of the only things I gotta say about this deck is that you have to go first. Like, you could salvage going second in this version, and there are versions of Dark Magician where you want to go second, but in this version you always want to go first, and always want to start with this guy, just to get your board set up and all that good stuff. And also, during your opponent's turn, if you activate a spell or trap effect while this guy is in the graveyard, you can tribute one of your spellcasters and add him back to your hand. So you can just keep recycling and normal summon and search over and over again. So really good there. Alright, next up here we run 1 copy of Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. At least one of him is standard Dark Magician decks. It's kind of like a meta tech right now for stuff like ABCs, Infernoids, all that stuff. He's really good against those. Now back, especially against the ABC matchup, if you get him out at the right time, you basically win. Same thing with Infernoids, but your timing with getting him out has to be perfect. But yeah, like I said, if it's perfect timing against those 2 decks, you basically auto-win. And next up for our monsters, there's just going to be 1 copy of Maxi, and actually that about concludes it. There aren't many main deck monsters here for Dark Magician. But that's alright, because all the power comes from the spells. Alright. First off here we have 3 copies of Dark Magical Circle. Yes, after so many months I finally got my 3rd one here. Now this card right here is like almost like the heart and soul of the deck. So when you play it, you can look at your top 3 cards. Any Dark Magician or card that has Dark Magician in its text, you can reveal it, add it to your hand, and put the remaining cards in any order you wish. And also, whenever you normal or special summon a Dark Magician, you can target 1 card your opponent controls, and you banish it. So this is one of the ways that helps you control the field and all that stuff. So this right here is like heart and soul. Like I said, heart and soul of the deck. And for those of you guys want to pick up this deck, fair warning, because of Link Summon format and the fact that it can be so good during that format, Dark Magician stuff has just jumped in price in general, like especially this card. This card has been skyrocketing in price. I was fortunate enough to get at least 2 of these when it first came out, and I got a really amazing deal on this one. So, but no, yeah, that's my fair warning to you guys. Dark Magician is no longer a cheap deck because of Link Summon. Next up here, we have 2 copies of Illusion Magic. Basically, this is your searcher for Dark Magician until we get Apprentice Illusion Magician, which there's a good chance that's going to be our next Show and Jump promo, but there's no telling when that's going to be. And if it is going to be released as a Show and Jump promo, dear God, that is going to be an expensive promo. But knowing me and how dumb I am, I'd probably waste every penny I have to get a playset of those. And to finish up our Dark Magician spells, we have 1 copy of Dark Magic Inheritance and 1 copy of Dark Magic Attack. Now, this is just your Harpy's Feather Dust of the deck, blowing up all your opponent's spell and traps. We have a Dark Magician on field. And Dark Magic Inheritance, you banish 2 spell cards from your graveyard, and you add a spell or trap that lists Dark Magician and its text to your hand. So you've got, right here, Magician's Rod, you got Dark Magical Circle, and you got Dark Magic Inheritance. You've got more than plenty of ways to search your stuff. Though, I should tell you guys quickly, if you are looking to build a fusion version with this with Ayatamize, the ruling is you cannot search Ayatamize with these cards because, and personally I think this is so stupid, the text says Dark Magician Monster. That's the reason why you can't search it. Again, that has got to be one of the dumbest things I have ever heard, but that's unfortunately the ruling we have to work with. Alright, now for our other spells here, we've got 3 copies of Wonder Wand here. Basically, you equip it to a spellcaster, and you discard it, draw 2 cards, and it gains 500 attack. But you're really just going to use it for the drawing effect. Next up here, run 2 Pot of Duality. You excavate the top 3, take out any card you want there, shuffle it back, but you cannot special summon during that turn. Which doesn't really bother you too much, because on your first, you never special summon on your first turn. Never ever do you first turn special summon with this deck. It's always just the 1 raw normal summon and just to get your stuff going. So Pot of Duality is a perfect card here. If you want to run 3 of this card, that's perfectly fine. But I just chose to run 2. So 2 Pot of Duality. And also I run 2 copies of Allure of Darkness. Now I realize Allure is at 3. And that's great and all, but I don't really like to banish my Dark Magician too much. But all your monsters are here minus the Max C are dark, so it doesn't have to be Dark Magician. But this has been working out very good for me. And last up for our draw card is going to be 1 Upstart Goblin. So as you guys can see, we have plenty of ways to draw our stuff. So very rarely do we ever brick with this deck. And before anyone asks, no, I am not running Pot of Desires in this deck, or any deck for that matter. Mainly because it's such a dumb card. Not to mention it's stupidly expensive too. Like if they want to give us a common reprint, I might consider it. But until then, I am not spending no 60 to 70 bucks on that card that might just completely ruin the game for me. And next up here is some cards that are going to be adding more to the control variant of the deck. We got 2 copies of Secret Villages Spellcasters, 2 Terraforming. Terraforming is just a search of your Secret Villages. But here's Secret Village of the Spellcaster. It's kind of a double-edged sword, but it's so worth the risk. If you control a Spellcaster-type monster and your opponent does not, your opponent cannot activate spell cards whatsoever. And let's be honest, other than the Invoked, there are really no Spellcasters in the meta format. So this shuts down so many decks. And but the double-edged part is that if you don't control a Spellcaster type monster, your opponent can activate spell effects, but you cannot. Which, that's rarely a problem for you, because in this version you have plenty of ways to special summon Dark Magicians that don't require spell cards. So, definitely a good way to lock out your opponent. And like every deck out there plays spells, so like I said, unless it's invoked, you're basically going to win with that card right there. And now for our traps. We actually run a good amount of traps in here. Run 3 copies of Magician Navigation. Now, when it first came out, this card wasn't too bad. This was the one that I got lucky. I got 3 of, like, right away. Like, even though it's not as much as Dark Magical Circle, which I'll give you an idea, Dark Magical Circle, last I checked, was, like, between 45 to 50 a piece. This card's gone from, like, 19 to 17 to, like, 30 to 35 apiece. So, like I said, hurry up and get the Dark Magician stuff, guys, because they have been doing nothing but climbing in price. And this card right here is actually a mouthful of effects, but they're really good. You special summon a Dark Magician from your hand, then you can special summon a level 7 or lower Dark Spellcaster type monster from your deck. So, being able to get 2 special summons from this one card is really good. Not to mention, except for during the turn it's sent there, if you control Dark Magician, you can banish this card from your graveyard to negate one of your opponent's spell or trap cards. So, pretty dang good against the Paleozoic matchup. Being able to negate their traps is really, really awesome. Not to mention, just look at that art, man. That art's amazing. Alright, next up here, we got 3 copies of Eternal Soul. Now, Japan, OCG, has had this card for well over 2 years before we got it. And we finally have Eternal Soul, and it's an amazing card. Basically, it's got even more effects than the Magician Navigation, but they're all amazing effects. First off, all of your Dark Magicians are completely unaffected by your opponent's card effects. And what I mean by completely unaffected, I mean completely unaffected. They want to pull a Regeki? Nope. Dark Hole? Nope. Let's see, what else can I think of here? Mirror Force? Any of them won't work. Dimensional Prison to banish won't work. And let's get creative here. Let's go, Ignister doesn't target or destroy. Nope. Cosmojo doesn't target or destroy, only banishes. Nope. None of that is gonna work on your Dark Magicians. So, and if you guys think that was crazy enough, oh boy, we are just getting started with this card here. Once per turn during either player's turn, you could special summon a Dark Magician from your hand or graveyard. So, the little combo with that here is that every turn you have these 2 out. You have one for your. Let's say it's in your graveyard, it got destroyed. Activate it, return, special summon it, activate Dark Magical Circle, banish something of your opponents during their turn. So, and you just keep spamming that every single turn, and you buy quickly. It's not really gonna take too long, but within like a turn or 2, your opponent's entire field is gonna be banished with that combo. And it's also got the effect to where you can add a Dark Magic attack or 1,000 Knives from your deck to your hand. Now, we don't play 1,000 Knives here, but we do play Dark Magic attack, so it's going to search that. Though, it does have the negative effect to where when this card leaves the field, you destroy all of your face-up monsters. But, we play 1 copy of Starlight Road, which, for those of you who don't know what this card is, you activate it when a card effect would destroy 2 or more cards that you control. Does not have to be your opponent's effect either that destroys them. So whenever your Eternal Soul Destruction effect activates, you play this card here to negate that, and you can special summon a Stardust Dragon from your extra deck. So not only do you prevent your board from being cleared up, you get another extra deck monster, which is honestly amazing. If it wasn't for room in this deck, I would actually consider running 2 Starlight Road. But at the moment, room is kind of a problem. And last up for our traps here, we got 1 Soul Skill Drain, 1 Solemn Warning, and 1 Solemn Strike. These 2 obvious, just negate summons and effects. And Skill Drain here. You pay 1,000, and basically all effects are negated on the field. Which that's not a problem for you, because every turn you're just going to be using Eternal Soul, Special Summon, Banish with Dark Magical Circle with a normal Dark Magician monster. So the Skill Drain won't even matter for that. And it's just every single turn, just keep spamming, keep destroying, banishing, sorry. Eternal Soul spam, banish, opponent can't activate effects, Secret Village on the field, you win. Like, there's almost nothing that your opponent can do once you have this full combo here. Alrighty, and with that, we are going to go into our extra deck. So for this extra deck, guys, it's not really going to be a traditional extra deck, mainly because it's not a complete 15-card one. Now, the reason it's not a complete 15-card one is, as I said, you really don't go into your extra deck. Like, honestly, here, let me show you. First off, 2 copies of Ebon Illusion, and 1 copy of Ebon High. These 3 right here are the closest, I would say, to extra deck cards that you would actually need. Like, honestly, you could go to a tournament with just these 3 cards in your extra deck and you'll be fine. Heck, if you really wanted to, you could go into a tournament with just this main deck, and you could still function just fine. Like, they're literally extra at this point, just a little bit of an extra push. But if there was any cards in the extra deck, I would say you would come closest to needing in this version, it would be Ebon Illusion. So let me read what these cards do. Ebon, basically, you could detach material, special summon a Dark Magician from your hand or deck, which during that special summon would activate Dark Magical Circle, banish a card you control. And also, whenever a normal spellcaster declares an attack, Ebon's effect activates to banish yet another card your opponent controls. So with the right combo, you could be banishing twice a turn, which is completely unreal. And something really, really cool to think about is that when it comes to Ebon, it does not have to be your normal spellcaster. So let's say, for example, if you're in the mirror match, basically whoever gets Ebon out first wins, because if they try to attack with their Dark Magician while you have Ebon out, your Ebon's effect will activate and you could banish one of their cards, including the attacking Dark Magician. So, something to really think about in the mirror match, which if you play this deck now, you're not really going to see mirror matches now, but I guarantee you're going to see plenty of the mirror come Link Summon format. And also, Ebon High Magician, I don't make him too often, but he's actually pretty cool. You can activate quick play spells and trap cards during your opponent's turn from your hand by detaching an XC material from him. And if he's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, or destroyed by, or if you control him, or if this one you control is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can special summon a Dark Spellcaster from your hand or deck, then destroy one card on the field. But something to note here, guys, the destruction effect of this monster right here does not target. So let's say if your opponent has monsters that prevent themselves from being targeted, they'll still get destroyed, because Ebon High Magician's destruction does not target, which is really, really good. Alright, next up for my rank 7 is going to be number 11 Big Eye. Got Red Eyes Flare Metal, and Mega Phantom Beast Dracosac. Now, he's pretty cool for just swiping your opponent's monsters, burning your opponent for 500 every single time they do anything, really. So that's really good as well. And just getting some extra destruction off here with this guy here is pretty good. And last up here, my copy of Leviathan Dragon. Just have it rank 3 in here. You can have a lot of rank 3s in this deck. You can have Dante in here to get a Magician Navigation in your graveyard if you so wanted to. And we have the Stardust Dragon here for Starlight Road. Like I said, guys, it's not a 15-card extra deck, really, because you could do whatever you want. Like, you could make it 15 with a whole bunch of rank 7s. You could do a whole bunch of rank 3s. You could just have a 3-card extra deck with the 3 Ebons I showed you. You could have a 0 extra deck and still be able to use Dark Magician just fine. And that right there, my friends, is the main reason why this is going to be good come Link Summon format. Has meta possibilities in Link Summon. That's why everything's jumping up like crazy. So that's why if you don't have everything yet, hurry up and get it, because it's only going to go up. So that ends my little rant about this deck, and that ends the deck profile. If you guys like the deck profile, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And sometime in the future, I'll do some more versions of this deck, because like I said, there are so many ways you can make Dark Magician. I'll probably do the Fusion one next. Tell you what, I'll let you guys decide that. In the comment section down below, comment which version of Dark Magician should I profile next. Should I profile the Synchro version? Should I profile the well, I already kind of did the Synchro version with Wind Witch, but there's another Synchro version you could do. There's XC's version, there's the Fusion version, there's, like I said, there's so many ways you can make Dark Magician. Just tell me any way you guys want me to profile Dark Magician, and I'll get on it. So, this has been Magician's Descendant, and you duelists, take care.